Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now, phone lines are open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Our guest on the show this morning is Richard Oriri. He is a journalist and he's also a politician, or maybe a journalist turned politician. Good to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Great to have you. Good morning. All right, now let's first of all start by talking about, I'm sure that you, one way or the other, you observed not just elections of the presidential election, but also the the National Assembly election. So what are your takes and what are your reactions with regards to all that happened, whether be it in the presidential polls or the senatorial or the House of Representatives?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to thank Nigerians for the result we are seeing so far, and I want to thank the present administration for signing the BVAS law, that is the Electoral Act, into law, that have made the BVAS to be legal in the electoral process of Nigeria. From what I have seen from the field, because I was in the field myself, and I observe a lot of things, and I give kudos to Nigerian youth, especially the corpers, the NYC officials, corps members, who were the direct representative of INEC and the various polling units. That did very well, and they really proved that they are good Nigerians. And I can say largely about 80 to 90% of the success of this election, the credit goes to Nigerian youth, especially the corpers who conducted the election.
Oh, really?
Yes, I give them that kudos, because I saw what they did in the field.
Maybe just for your own polling unit, because
I went around.
Because we saw videos where some corps members were actually putting numbers for a particular party that belongs to another party, and then some of them confessed to it. And I also saw a particular, I can't remember which headline I saw, that talked about where they said one of the corps members, that according to NYC, they said their corps members they did some mistake with regards to the figures, and because the person was tired already.
What you see, the accreditation at the polling unit level was in two phases. One, the BVAS handler, who is a corper, will first of all come to accredit you as a voter. First, collect your voter's card, run it on the system, and ensure that the voter's card is registered in the INEC system. And the moment that is done, and he enters it into the register in the electronically, you will now use the BVAS again to snap in you, corresponding your face, the physical you, with the picture that appears on your PVC. And once that is done, you will shift from that line to the second line of manual registration, where you now see the manual register being handled by another INEC ad hoc staff. That is a corper again. You will now present your voter's card to the manual registered handler, who will collect your PVC to corresponding it with the information he has on the manual register, which is on hard copy. You will check until he gets to where your information is located, and then you check the picture on the PVC with the picture in the register, and then look at your face. After that, you will now tick it, then mark your finger. We now from there move to the next stage, where the ballot papers will be given to you for you now to go and exercise your franchise. That was what happened. So every information in the BVAS, you will find exactly the same information on the manual register. What is registered on the manual register is not different from what is in the BVAS. And they did that everywhere. And it was smooth, very smooth. That's why you don't see, we don't record a lot of violence anywhere in the country. And as I am talking to you, Nigeria, especially the local voters, they are very happy with what has happened.
So are you saying that some of the videos that we are seeing, they're just doctored?
Don't rely on social media information. 90% of what you see on social media, they are fake concerning this election.
But some of them were eyewitness reports.
In the first time in Nigerian political history, then you will see that we are not seeing 2 million, 3 million votes coming from Rivers, 7 million, 8 million votes coming from Kano State, 20 million, 16 million votes coming from Borno State. The first time in the history of Nigeria, what we are seeing is in thousands. That shows that the result you are seeing, they are real and they are genuine. And that is why you see Ilocos falling, sitting governors being disgraced. Like in Benue State, the Benue State governor, the difference, Titus Zam has worked under Governor Tom before, as special advisor on local government and chieftaincy affairs. Titus Zam defeated Otom with over 36,000 votes. That shows massive rejection, massive expression from the electorate against the governor. If it were in the old, you will see different things. You will see the governor forcing himself on the masses.
So are you saying that the BVAS did actually what it was intended to do? Completely from what I observed from the field. And you will see Nigerians will accept whatever anybody is saying, this, saying that, they should hold on for INEC. Nobody should coerce INEC into doing what they are not supposed to do. INEC should not be intimidated. The people you see collecting the results at the National Collation Center, they are not the one that carried out this exercise. What they did was to send the electoral materials to the polling units at the local level. NYSC handles majority of this election today in Nigeria. And that is why till tomorrow, if I have my way, I will bring all the coppers that participated in this election to a particular place to especially appreciate them, if I have my way. Obasanjo to Buhari, you find this one on Daily Sun, says redo compromised polls, and then Abdul Salami warns INEC against dismissing complaints. Still that same story you have on the Guardian newspaper, says drama as observers. Obasanjo, Abdul Salami query elections. They say save Nigeria from looming disaster and cancel elections that lack credibility and transparency. Vanguard newspaper says presidential and National Assembly tickets fraught with irregularities. What are your thoughts on this? Before you take your thought, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Ezekiel from Plateau State.
All right, go ahead. Very quickly. Let's get your thoughts.
I am watching KAFTAN TV and then I saw the man talking over there.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
He said, one thing I am so not happy about what he said. He said Nigerians are happy with what just transpired, what is transpiring in the election and according to on the results of the elections just on the 25th of this February. I'm telling you, Nigerians, maybe it is family members or close relatives that are happy, but I tell you, Nigerians today, we are not happy about what is happening. I think if justice will be done to Nigerians, we'll all be happy, because we the youth, we're not taking it funny. You're not seeing it funny anymore. Why? Let the right thing be done. Just as Annabel said yesterday, let the right thing be done and we'll all be happy.
All right.
If truly INEC will give us a convincing proof that yes, what they are doing is right, we'll all accept it in good faith, but let them do what the masses are saying.
All right.
Let them just do it. Yeah, that's just the truth. That's just what we need in Nigeria today.
Thank you so much for that contribution. All right, so like I said, former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo says that the election was compromised, so they should be redone. And then you have European Union, AU saying the same thing, but then Commonwealth has a different statement saying that INEC is actually doing the same job. So what part are you on? Are you in they did a good job, or are you in the part where that says now of Nigerians that says these some parts there were violence in some parts of Nigeria during the election, so there should be a re-election? What do you agree to?
My sister, there is nowhere anywhere in Nigeria, in the world, that you will see that after the conduct of election, citizens will not complain. There must be complaint. But what is the margin of this complaint? Those complaining now, is their right to complain. And it is the right of INEC too to respond to the complaints coming up from Nigerians. It's their right to complain. But what I want to tell you for free here is that this election has more credibility than even 2015 election. This election, from what I saw in the field, the major areas where you see Nigerians complaining is the area of BVAS results not being transferred electronically to the central server, which I think is a problem that we have in Nigeria generally today in terms of electronics issues. Like what is happening in this, with the CBN money, this Naira redesign issue now. There's no cash anywhere. They say we should go cashless. But if you are going cashless, you should be able to use your phone to transact electronically. But are we having it free? No. It's very difficult. Those are things they are supposed to put in place first before they even introduce this cashless policy. But they failed to do that. And I think the same thing is happening to INEC. Maybe the central server is having issue.
So are you saying that this election was fully funded, but yet they did not tick all the send the right teams and the dots?
It could be that they did not foresee the fact that their central server will have issue. I don't know. But what I am telling you now is that all the BVAS that was sent to every polling unit, except where there's violence and the BVAS is attacked or being destroyed, before the information in the BVAS will be altered. Every information from the various polling units that was recorded in the BVAS, they are there intact. And this hard copy accreditation that COPAS did at the various polling units. Once you are not comfortable with what they are releasing, with the result they are releasing from the hard copy information, you can go to court. Court will give you the right to assessing both sides. There is that is the information on the BVAS and the information on the hard copy register, because INEC have provided two separate register. One electronic, the other one is hard copy. So that is what has happened. Like the reaction of President Olusegun Obasanjo in his first election in 1999. That was the year I finished my secondary school. I participated. Despite I was in secondary school, I participated, but I participated as an agent of a political party. That election was not that rigged. But 2003 election that President Obasanjo conducted was the worst in the history of this country.
So what's your point?
My point is that he once killed Nigerians. He once hated Nigerians with this idea of election rigging. He rigged in 2003. He rigged in 2007 before he left office. You understand? So now he's coming now to raise eyebrow, thinking what he was doing then is what is happening now. But I want to tell Nigerians that from what I saw in the field, the credibility of this 2023 election is far higher than what we had in 2015.
But you have the EU,
2019.
The EU and the AU saying the same
from
thing.
The EU and the European Union and the ECOWAS, the complaint coming from them is another, but because it's in the Electoral Act that once registration is done at the polling unit, after accreditation, the information will be transferred electronically to the central server. It's in the Electoral Act. And ordinarily, INEC, they ought to comply with that. But they cannot, because the system is giving problem and then allow the general election to be mad. What they are doing now is to manage whatever lapses they are having from the field. And the way they are managing it, personally, I am very happy with the way they are managing it, because in fact, I thank God that they have the registration in two phases. I just thank God that they have the registration in two phases. One, electronically. The second one is the hard copy register. So once this one is failing, they will have the other part of it that they will fall back to. Now, electronic registration that they did at the polling unit, transferring it, not that the BVAS had problem, but the whole of my local government.
But that's not what INEC said.
Eh?
That's not what INEC, even from that day, especially that Saturday, they never said that there was any issues with the central server or with the BVAS.
Transferring the result from the BVAS to the central server now is where they are having this issue. The complaint that they are raising here is that why would the result in the BVAS from the polling unit not being transferred electronically to the central server?
But if that's what the Electoral Act says, so why
it should be done? That should be done. But now INEC cannot stop the process because they could not transfer results from the BVAS.
Have pocket of violence in some places.
Violence?
Even when you had a pocket of violence, you see people in Rivers, you see in Lagos, in Elegushi.
The violence, even in my local government, there was a pocket, like in my local government, at the local government, the executive chairman of the local government, Honorable James Oche, he came to the local government with about 2 or 3 buses full of talks, because they knew that the other opposition, the other opponents have upper hand in what has happened. Is real communication from the elite to the voters, the masses at the grassroots. If you don't have that communication with them, you are losing this election.
All right.
And those people who were losing the election, they were prepared that anywhere we are losing, we will take violence there. And it's in the election that wherever there is violence, they should cancel such election. So now those of them who don't have the people, the voters to their side, they are the one causing violence. Where they say that the opponent is having upper hand, they will take violence there so that INEC will cancel the election in that area. That is the strategy. All right. So you don't listen to it so much. You don't listen to what the complaints coming out.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello. I want to speak with the man speaking.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
We can hear you. Turn down the volume of your TV set first. All right. I think I have to let that one go and take the next call. Hello. Good morning. All right. Okay, so now you say that it is just because the Iroquois are fallen. That's the reason why they are, most of them are crying foul. But it's not just one party that is complaining.
Not that the Iroquois are falling. Not that the Iroquois are falling. It's general. Once you are losing election, you will always come with complaint. But if you are winning in Nigeria, you don't see those winners complaining. The losers will complain.
So is that why you have
this complaint is coming from people who don't have connection to the voters. The voters outrightly
rejected. Are you saying PDP didn't have connection? Are you saying SDP? Are you saying LP never had connection with their voters?
Where they don't have control, what they want to do is to ensure that there is violence there for INEC to cancel the results.
Are you saying that possibly PDP wanted to ensure violence? Are you saying that LP wanted to ensure violence? Is that what you're saying?
I am very clear in what I am saying. Very, very clear in what I am saying. I say where they see that they are not making way, what they do is to cause violence. I gave an example from my local government where the local government chairman went to Upper Ward. The House of Representative candidate for APC is from Upper. The James Oche was the DG campaign of the PDP House of Representative candidate, who is from Obadibo, and both of them from the same ward. And the APC candidate for House of Reps have upper hand in that locality. And as a DG of the PDP candidate, he wanted to ensure to see that, and the sitting chairman of the local government, to see that he's not failing in his ward. But the APC candidate have upper hand above him in the world. He has more connection to the people, and they accepted him more in the world. So what the chairman wanted to do now was to say that the election, the result, what they are doing there at this election there was scattered by the use of tools. But I thank God for Nigerian military. The military personnel sent to the field for this election, they did very well. They were neutral. Anywhere they see that they will go and restore peace immediately. Not siding any politician. They are not even looking at any politician. They don't care who you are. When they were after, I am so sorry for Nigerians, especially youth, those of us youth who are here complaining. What is there is that the military in some other countries of Africa, once they see opportunity like this, what they do is to take government, to take power. But Nigeria, we are seeing the military restoring, ensuring that there's democracy in this country. Instead of us civilians protecting democracy, it is the military that are protecting democracy. You see civilians outright coming out with closed eyes to ensure that there's violence. And you know that if there's violence in this country, military have the right to take government to restore peace.
But isn't that why they signed the peace accord?
They signed peace accord, but the majority of them, they are not in tune with the peace accord they signed. It's just few, like SDP presidential candidate, all over. Where I've seen him commenting and saying things, he's on the side of peace. But most of these presidential candidates, they are out trying to cause eyebrow, and then making their supporters to be angry and cause crisis across. And we don't want crisis in this country.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Crisis.
Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Francis calling from Latvia, Nasarawa State.
All right, Francis from Nasarawa, go ahead in 30 seconds. Let's get your thoughts.
Okay, I want to say that your guest is analyzing this situation as if he is in campaign ground. He's analyzing the whole situation as if he is in campaign mood. We are talking about the process, the clean process. The INEC has assured Nigerians that there will be uploading of results before announcement. Now the results are not yet uploaded. Most of them are not yet uploaded. Then they are calling the results. How authentic are the results being released? This is what was expecting yesterday. And the man is not listening to it. He was just talking as if he's campaigning for a particular party. That is wrong. Upload the results in your server. Yes, it has been uploaded. Make it shown to Nigeria so that Nigerians will know that what we are calling rhyme with what the political parties have in their custody. And they are doing something different than what everybody to become.
All right.
It's Nigeria. We are all Nigerians, and justice has to be done.
Great. Thank you so much, Francis. Thank you so much, Francis from Nassau. I will have to let you go. 1 minute to every caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. All right, go ahead. 30 seconds you have.
I want to observe that this election was rudely mad into the reality. And the idea of defending the cause of the election is something one cannot understand. We are also in reality. In my area, in my local government, in the local government, we did not vote. And it's not going out. So let us say that let highlight the security education. But when the announcement of results, I'm sure based on what happened, so many further with that's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you so much for that contribution. Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning. Good morning, are you there? Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name or where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Delta State.
All right, go ahead. In 30 seconds, your mic is on.
Hello. I want to speak with the man that's speaking now. I want to speak with him.
Go ahead. He can hear you.
Hello.
He can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Good morning.
You need to turn down the volume of your TV set, so I will let you go and I will pick your call again, but turn down the volume of your TV set. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning. Go ahead. We can hear you. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, how was your night?
Great, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my name is Chief Arel.
Chief Arel from Kaduna. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My regards to my good friend Richard Oriri. You see, my sister, it is rather unfortunate what is happening in Nigeria. You see, Nigerians have been deceived by INEC chairman. What the previous speaker said was quite true. I agree with him. You see, the Nigerians spent a lot of billions of naira on this election. And for INEC chairman to be telling us that the BVAS was having technical problems, it is quite unacceptable. What they told us was that they were going, I checked the INEC, what do you call it? There was nothing of that sort in INEC bookers. And for them to not come to tell us that they have technical problems, and perhaps your analyst, I don't know, I did not see on time whether he was supporting that issue. Anybody who supports that issue, I don't think, in my own opinion, is not supporting it well. We have problems in this country. I support him 100%. It's only that he was not having patience. He wouldn't have walked out. He would have been there to the end of the compilation of the result. And INEC has deceived us. You see, there is trust deficit in INEC because what they promise Nigerians are not what they are doing.
All right, thank you so much.
They should make sure that where the BVAS is not working, they should cancel that election. Where the BVAS is not working, so that they come back. Nigerians are very much annoyed about this election.
All right.
They should make sure that they go back and do the rightful thing. We have spent a lot of billions of naira. Let the INEC not spend.
Thank you, Chief Aro. I'll have to let you go. Thank you so much. God bless you too, Chief Aro, calling us from Kaduna. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Turn down the volume of your TV set.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, my name is Michael, calling from Delta State.
All right, Michael from Delta State. Your mic is on.
Yeah. Okay. I really want to talk about this election because there's a lot of evidence that INEC not rig this election because there are a lot of evidence, and it should be a very big blow if they rig this election. And Labour Party have been winning in other places. You can see in Kano, APC on printing by themselves. They knocked, even if you go to Lagos, front units, they said, if you know you're not going to vote for APC, you should go home. A lot of places in Lagos, a lot of places in Rivers, a lot of places in Benin, a lot of places in Kano State. So let them do this election and let them bring a lot of security personnel there to represent and to cover up those events.
All right.
We Nigerians cannot take over. We cannot take this one for granted this time around. If not, there will be a very big problem.
I hope there's no problem. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. All right, let's come back to you now with all this response that you get from callers. And then this last caller actually made a statement where I saw, we have the video on that we're going to play on social media. You have people making inciting statements saying that if you are in Lagos and then you did not vote for XYZ person, then you should go back to your town. Why should we have such statements, such inciting statements, and people trying to divide us even when we're trying to get you more united?
Thank you. You made a valid point, but in Nigeria and politics generally, there is no how you will not expect such things. If not now, that the level of awareness is so high. Before now, they coerce people into voting and even beat people, put people. I have witnessed an election that was conducted by the other statesman, Olusegun Obasanjo, in 2003, 2007. I witnessed those elections. The one of 2003, I was an agent in Odumoke Poly unit. They came using money, 20,000 naira that time, bundle note of 200 naira that I should collect for them to rig election. I refused. In 2003, later they came with truckload of military officials to force people into doing what was not right. That was what happened across Nigeria in 2003. 2007, the same thing. So now the complaint coming from Nigeria in this regard, in some poly unit, you will see where some politicians will come and say, if you are not ready to, if you are not coming, you are not here to vote for for XYZ, you are not supposed to be here. Those are people who are prepared for violence.